Okay, so if you were curious about LESSERAFIM's 2025, like I was, I wanted to see if it would improve, especially after, they released that documentary this year in 2024 where everybody was crying and there was a lot of hardship behind the scenes. I wanted to see if it would improve. Good news and bad news. So I feel like they're going to release a lot of bangers in 2025. I also feel like there are still ongoing hardships behind the scenes that they aren't necessarily letting fans in on. You'll see what I mean when we get into it. With that being said, everything I say is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only, and with peace and love. And let's go. Okay. LESSERAFIM. The world. Page of Wands. Focusing on what went wrong. I think, overall, the achievements that LESSERAFIM is going to have in 2025 are going to be big. I think they're going to get a lot of hits. I think they're going to get a lot of, streams and views. I could see them going on tour as well. The page, unless they're already on tour, I'm so sorry. But the Page of Wands and also, the Five of Cups, to me indicate that, there are still some members. If you haven't been paying attention in 2024, LESSERAFIM released a documentary and it indicated a lot of struggles that the girls were going through. I think some members still are. It feels like burnout, or if not as dramatic as burnout, it's almost like a lack of creativity. Almost like something you used to enjoy and had fun in, it's no longer enjoyable. It's sort of and I think that's sort of the job of being an idol, where it used to be fun and now it's such a chore. I also think some members are really they focus more on things that went poorly. So it's sort of if they lost an award or if someone said something negative about them, they're very focused on, it seems almost through the lens of perfectionism and self-doubt, where it's sort of they're trying to pick apart themselves before other people can, which is quite sad. Ace of Pentacles, Ten of Wands. Okay. I like LESSERAFIM a lot. I root for the girly bops. I've liked every release they've ever done. So the Ace of Pentacles, as a fan who doesn't really know a lot about statistics when it comes to K-pop, I think LESSERAFIM is doing really well. I think from a money standpoint, from a success standpoint, they're doing really well. Internally, the girls don't feel like that. But it's almost they know that they're on the books successful, but internally they don't feel it. This is hard work and working really hard, but again, it's burnout. It's I think they do train really hard. I think they work very hard. I think they're constantly working to make new songs and record and learn new dances and do performances and things like that. I think one member is strongly considering walking away. I feel it's almost they're trapped or they have a strong obligation to stay, but I think one member really wants to walk away. I think this all entirely has to do with management. I see this with absolutely every HYBE group I ever read for. HYBE does something to their idols. I don't know what it is, but it's sad. I don't want to cry. I don't know why I'm about to cry. I don't know what's going on. I'm sad. Okay. Let me regroup here and say I keep seeing Sakura. People are always I'm not coming for Sakura. I like Sakura. I support her. But I see her every time I read for LESSERAFIM. She's at the forefront of my mind. Before the documentary came out, but I just see her desiring to leave. It might not be Sakura. She just might be a key player in that issue. I don't think she will, or whatever member wants to leave. I don't think they're gonna leave, but they really want to, and I think it's just because they're overworked. They don't get the support they want. I don't think they get to see their family members maybe as much as they want, or just people. I think they're kind of restricted or limited in what they can do in their personal lives. If they wanted to have a boyfriend and they wanted to go on an ice cream date with their boyfriend, the company's no. Or if you do, you can only go to these places. You can't go to these places because you might get photographed. I think they just feel undersupported and overworked, and that makes their job not fun. But they're gonna release a lot of bangers next year. Is I guess the benefit. Okay, Two of Swords. Another Moon card. Moon is your unconscious. It can be your emotions. And it can also be a secret. This is bothering me. Okay. Two of Swords. Someone's treated better than someone else in LESSERAFIM. Almost kind of favoritism. I don't think it's as on the nose as favoritism, but I think I mentioned that in the last reading I did about LESSERAFIM. Maybe it might not have been them, but King of Wands. Yeah, someone favors a couple members over others. I think maybe it's they just kind of like this person more. Maybe they're a better, not a better, but a harder worker, or they do something they dance better or something like that. I think Chaewon is favored. I think all the girls are cool with each other. I don't think there's a lot of infighting with them. I think what you see on camera with them when they're hanging out is quite genuine. I think they really enjoy each other. I think they're really honest with each other too about hey, I need space, but there's favoritism. I think it affects the group dynamic, but I also think all of them are very aware of what's going on. Also, I think Hybe, or their source music. I think Hybe likes working with source music, and I also think Hybe likes LESSERAFIM. Like they like, I think they like how reliable LESSERAFIM are, and I think they like how hardworking the girls are. So I think that also plays a role. Like, of all the Hybe groups, both for boys and girls, LESSERAFIM is like top up there. They prefer them. Now let me tell you about LESSERAFIM. The Magician. This 2025 is going to be really successful for them. It's not going to make them happy, though. I just feel like, I don't know if it's like as on the nose as like they have anxiety or they have depression or something like that. They just like aren't really happy. Because this is like being a caged bird. And then like the 10 of Pentacles is like looking back at your life, but it's more through the lens of like material things or accomplishments. I think they do feel excited and joyful if they win like a big award or something like that, like Song of the Year or something. And I think they really, really, really love their fans. I think that's also very genuine. I just don't think their job on a day-to-day makes them happy. I think just because of how stressful it is. I think there's a lot of negatives. I mean, their documentary was very honest, and I think they could have shown a lot more. That was also very like sad and difficult and hard. And to me, it feels like they have a lot of positives and they have a lot of negatives, and it's sort of like the negatives keep building up and they don't have an appropriate way to process them. So it's almost like the positives aren't as like delicious or like as balancing out. Happily ever after, the Moon, a secret, Ace of Cups. Very emotional, something might come out unconscious, but this is like celebrating like small wins. They might receive like some sort of award next year. This feels almost mid-year though, so I don't know what awards are given out in the middle of the year. But it could also be like they are like in the media, like let's say, I don't know, one member does something like really positive, like they help like an old lady cross the street and it was just caught on camera. Doesn't have like something like that where they do something like really positive and everyone's like, wow, like LESSERAFIM, like lovely girls. It could be something like that, but it could also be an official award. But in some way they're going to be regarded very positively in the public. It seems like people won't hate on them as badly as they have in, I think, 2025, 2024. I think there's going to be a new punching bag, more so than people don't care about them. I don't really feel like their documentary moved the needle on that, I'll be honest, but it just seems like people are more focused on a different group next year. I don't know what group that would be, but the Moon is like, the Moon can also be evolution, though. The Chariot, stalling, Ace of Wands, creativity, stress, anxiety. I don't think they're going to enjoy what they release next year. I also think there's going to be criticism about them like stagnating. I think LESSERAFIM changes their sound a lot, but it's almost like people are going to say, I think this happened when they released like Unforgiven, where people were like, they kind of do the same thing. Like but I mean, even if the sound is different, I think they might have that criticism going on for them. I saw this in the last reading as well. I don't feel like what they want to be releasing is exactly what they want to be releasing. And I don't know what that means. I mean, I say that as a fan that likes the stuff they release, but it's almost like they don't enjoy it. Or it also might be they want more input. But the Nine of Swords is like stress, anxiety, depression. It can also be like nightmares and things like that. Or expecting, kind of what anxiety is, like expecting the worst. Ace of Wands, though, is like creativity. Or it can also be like, what's the word? Like creating stuff. But because the Chariot's right next to it, that's a stall and a delay. Which to me indicates that like they're just not really feeling it. Also like a comeback might be pushed back. Fighting, that could be fans. That could also be internal. 10. The dark before the light, Wheel of Fortune. I think by the end of 2025, or maybe starting in 2026, they'll feel better. I don't know what's going to change. I think they might push back, but I don't know. I've been seeing this kind of weaved throughout a lot of my K-pop readings, and it's hard to articulate because it's so fuzzy. Like, I can't really grab onto the image or what it's trying to say. But like the essence of it is that like there's something that's going to change in the K-pop industry, and I think it's going to impact like LESSERAFIM, but not necessarily like directly LESSERAFIM, but more like a lot of groups, and LESSERAFIM is one of those groups. It just seems like something's going to change in the K-pop industry. It's going to benefit them. It's going to hurt them, I think, when it comes to maybe like finances or comebacks or like resources, but it's going to benefit their well-being in the long run. But this feels like peripheral, like LESSERAFIM hasn't directly done anything, positively or negatively. It's more like K-pop companies, and that trickles down into groups. And I just like, it's so fuzzy though, and I say this like every reading I do this in. It's sort of like some powerful man is going to have like a downfall, kind of like what's happening in the US right now, or like a company, and it's going to change the laws around other companies. But it's like, I think the reason it's fuzzy is because it's like up in the air, and it kind of depends on if somebody, like a whistleblower, comes forward. I don't know. Anyway, the Wheel of Fortune is their fortune changing, and I think for the better, because a lot of these cards have been a little tough. Ace of Swords. We got a lot of aces. New beginnings for LESSERAFIM. That's good. Focusing maybe on the positives, but that can also just not be getting what you want. I think some members are going to be more outspoken to their company about demanding things, like more breaks or more money or like something. It's going to be a long battle. It's going to be subtle too. I think some members of LESSERAFIM are very smart. I think they're smart in business. I think they're smart in communicating. I think they're just in general very intelligent people. I don't think they play up to that strength either. I think a lot of people underestimate LESSERAFIM as a group. But like, I just got Yeonjin. You remember? Everyone was bagging on Yeonjin, and they were like, she was like, I want to change the K-pop industry. And everyone was like, boo, you haven't done it. I think she is. Like, I picture her in my mind. Or like LESSERAFIM as a whole, but I see them like going back and forth with like their company and being like, we want better working conditions or something like that helps them. And the company's like, no, and then they're like, okay, and then they drop it for a little bit and then they bring it up again in a different way. And it's sort of like negotiating, and it's like super incremental, but I think what they're doing is going to help other idols in the long run, at least at their company specifically, or it might be at HYBE in general. But their company pushes them down a lot and denies a lot of ideas and just sort of like doesn't care. Their company's like, just dance, like what do you want? Strength, Queen of Wands, finding your inner strength again. Yeah, the tower, and I don't think the tower, I think it'll affect LESSERAFIM, but the tower seems outside of them, like something's going to happen that will affect them, but not them directly. Queen of Wands. This might have to do with New Jeans indirectly as well. Maybe like some ruling that happens in Eugene's case is going to affect how like HYBE operates. I don't know, but anyway, it's going to. Okay. So presently, the timeline. Presently, it seems like LESSERAFIM doesn't particularly feel very confident, but they're going to have a successful year career-wise. Internally, they feel tired, they feel burnt out, they feel kind of uninspired. That's going to change around the end of next year. I don't know why. It seems like something external to them, but it's gonna like light a fire under them, and it's gonna almost like revolutionize them. They're gonna be like, yeah, like let's go. I don't know. They're gonna feel more like into it and like more like it girls. I don't think anyone from LESSERAFIM is going to leave the group, but I feel like a member really strongly wants to, and like has almost at some point like said like I'm leaving, and then the company. I think they were about to like walk into someone's office and be like, I'm out, and they were like, maybe I shouldn't. Like, ooh, because you have to imagine that's a lot of money on the line. I think there are a lot of stipulations in their contract about leaving, but I could see this member improving and starting to really enjoy their job again more. It might be Sakura, but it might be someone else. I keep picturing her whenever I think about that. Whatever, anyway. But I think let's draw one more. King of Pentacles. That's LESSERAFIM. See, because we got the Tower, and then we got the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles to me always indicates like a CEO in K-pop readings. I don't know why. Oh, God. King of Pentacles, King of Swords, the Hierophant. And the last card we pulled right before then was the Tower. Something's gonna happen in the K-pop industry. I need to do a dedicated reading because it's like this reading's about LESSERAFIM, so it's through the lens of their energy. But like I read this in so many K-pop readings. Something's gonna happen in the K-pop industry, and I don't know what it is. It's so fuzzy. I need to like hone in on that. I need to lock in. But it'll positively benefit LESSERAFIM in the long run, and I think K-pop groups in general. Well, good. Honestly, a vibe. I'm excited. Thank you.